Trust me, you're not.
Hello, welcome to Story on the Spot. My name is Jim Heskett, and going clockwise for me, there's Kevin Tumlinson, Nick, My Story Can Beat Up Your Story, Thacker, Mr. R.A. McGee, and our very special guest for today, Craig A. Hart. Now, you see, last time we had a special guest, I totally dropped the ball and didn't make even a custom banner for our guest. So, Craig, I want you to know that we've gotten our poop quite a bit more together, or at least me. I don't know about these other guys.
Is this the custom banner that we're seeing right now?
This is the banner.
Damn, man, you busted out all the stuff.
You like it?
If there had been nothing,
talk about overshooting the target, Jim.
Well, we spare no expense. We pull out all the stops here at Story on the Spot. So welcome, Craig. Craig is an audiobook narrator and an author, and you can find out more about him at craigahart.com. Now, this story. This is Story on the Spot, so you can check out more about us at storyonthespot.live. And somebody want to explain to Craig what we do here, since he has no idea?
One of you guys can. I'm still trying to kind of figure it out.
Yeah, Nick's still learning.
I'm not entirely certain what we do here.
Oh, my goodness.
There's a dinner bell, and there's cows wearing yoga.
There's a dinner bell. Do we need the dinner bell to get things started?
Okay, I'm going to explain what we do here. So what we do here is this is Story on the Spot, and I will show a story prompt and read a story prompt. That's going to be a short piece of news of the weird, and then everyone will take turns pitching a story idea based on the prompt. Then the people who are watching can comment below after each round and let us know which story they like the best. Craig, since you're new at this, we don't want to put you in too much of the hot seat, so if you want to sit out a round or two, that is totally okay.
All right.
Unacceptable.
Okay.
We all had to do trial by fire.
Oh, wait. I forgot. Week 9, last week, our winner by one vote, Nick Thacker.
Will I blush? Oh, son of a...
Was that I won by only one vote, or there was only one vote and it was for my story?
No,
I think it was the latter.
No,
I find both those
equally
plausible. So
no,
I voted for myself, but let the record show.
Last week we had a lot better participation, and Nick, you had one more vote than RA, and that was what sealed the victory for you. So make sure that you guys comment below, let us know where you're watching from, or after each round, let us know which one you thought won. Kevin?
It wasn't fair, though, because I got booted off of the whole thing.
Yeah, so that's sort of, though, poor planning on your part doesn't constitute an emergency on our part. Anyway, okay, I am going to put up our first story, and this is called Escape. Rye Wardlaw chalked up a big fail at the Northwest Escape experience in Seattle when he broke into the business in the pre-dawn hours. Wardlaw tried and failed to enter through a back door using a metal pipe, then knocked a hole through the wall. Then, carrying a burrito and a beer he nicked from the company's refrigerator, he wandered into the kill room, an escape room dressed to look like a serial murderer's hideout. Among the blood-spattered walls and fake cadavers, Wardlaw got scared, but he couldn't escape. So he called 911 and pleaded for help. The sheriff's officers accepted his confession and charged him with second-degree burglary. So what we have here is a thief, B&E specialist at least, breaks into an escape room and then, is not able to escape. Who wants to be the first person to pitch a story based on this prompt? I'm looking at everybody.
I think you're going to have to pick somebody.
Kevin, I think I'm going to have to pick somebody because Kevin, Nick, RA, all three of you look confused. I think RA looks the least confused. So RA, why don't you go first? Just start talking.
Darn my unconfused looking face. All right. So this is what I think is going on. I think that we are dealing with a cult leader. Okay. I think that there's someone who's not named in the story, the cult leader. Let's call him Bill. Okay, Bill is a cult leader in the Seattle area, and he specializes in a very low intrusion form of brainwashing. Right, so he's not the type of guy who's charismatic enough to get everyone to go along with it. He just kind of is subliminally influencing people. And our guy Rye Wardlow is one of the people that he has influenced. And Bill, the cult leader, told Rye that, we're going to need you to figure out how to escape from things. If we ever get arrested for our cult deeds, we're all in jail. We're going to need help. We're going to need an escape. Well, in Rye's simple mind, the best he could come up with was, I need to practice. I don't want to make Bill mad at me. Bill's an amazing cult leader. So I'm going to break into the escape room and I'm going to try to work on my craft of escape. And unfortunately, Rye's just not that bright. And he gets about midway through it and the brainwashing kind of falls out. And that's when he's stuck. He doesn't know what's going on. He gets scared and he calls the cops for help. And so the cop that responds on the scene will go on in this story to bust Bill, the cult leader, and his brainwashing ways. So,
thank you, R.A. McGee. I really like that it's low impact brainwashing, like yoga.
Low intrusion, man. It's easier on your joints.
All right, I'm going to put the story back up here so everybody can refresh their memory for a few seconds. And who would like to be the second to pitch us in a story about the failed escape attempt at the escape room?
I'll go up.
All right, Kevin Tumlinson, what do you got?
Now that Raw BJ has gotten his out of the way. Okay. Our friend Rye here, his name is Rye?
Yeah, Rye.
Sounds
like the
sounds
bread.
like a fantasy novel character.
Yes.
Rye Wardlaw.
Like a YA hero.
He is a pretty lucky guy, or so he thinks. So he has inadvertently wandered into an actual kill room that's disguised as an escape room, pretending to be a kill room. And the whole time he's there, his presence is actually known by the proprietor, who is an actual serial killer, but who is busy in another part of town at the moment. But he's watching him from his phone while he does his sinister work in a real kill room or another real kill room somewhere else. So Rye manages to escape, and our serial killer doesn't like to let any fish off the hook. So he actually methodically chases down Rye later and murders him in the same kill room and makes him a part of the exhibit.
All right. Nice. Thank you, Kevin Tumlinson. All right. Nick or Craig?
I'll go.
Sure, man. That was very similar to mine. What Kevin said. Actually, mine was like a mix between RA's and Kevin's.
Oh, what a coincidence!
Strangely enough, yeah. I mean,
it's a mix between the two stories I just heard.
I can maybe let Craig go first, and I'll see if my story changes at all. If you want. No, actually, I did. I had one idea that was similar. It's a real kill room. Serial killer set it up as a real kill room. What he's actually done is it's the sheriff who's the serial killer, and so he basically has lured this person into. Thank you. That was an early dun.
So soon.
So soon into it. Done two of them. Oh my God! I'm just gonna stop there, guys. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I win.
I'm done.
Good night.
Kevin's gonna ring the bell.
Yeah, this is all just clearly just an elaborate ploy to get to get Rye on the hook, and the serial killer is going to now hunt him down, and he's going to become part of the exhibit for us later on.
All right. So thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Nick Thacker. Craig, if you want to sit this one out, you can, or if you have a story you'd like to pitch on this, it's entirely up to you.
It was oddly very similar. But, so I think we're agreed that the kill room is real. How can it not be for a thriller book, right? But I think Rye is actually the serial killer, but he has a split personality. And one of them is a mild-mannered guy who has a taco truck or a burrito truck, like a food truck he drives around. And his other personality runs this kill room. And he does these little stunts every now and then to drum up business, and his customers end up coming in and being his victims. So every time his story hits the news, people are like, oh my God, I got to check this out. And it's fresh meat for him, which, by the way, may or may not end up in his burritos.
Oh, I like
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good twist.
I gotta vote for that one.
That's a
Just my
genuine
vote.
dun-dun. I was sort of throwing the dun-dun around there all willy-nilly, but that one...
You gotta keep the dun-dun in your pants until you're ready, Jim. All right? You can't just give the dun-dun to anybody.
Hey,
it's not special if you give it to anybody.
It's not special if you give it to everybody.
Yeah, right?
That is true.
Save that. Save that for marriage.
Yeah. Why buy the cow or why buy the milk? What is it? I don't know. Okay, this next prompt is called Bad to the Bone. 48-year-old city councilwoman Carol S. Fowler of Kansas made a splash in the news when Atchison County Sheriff's deputies tried to arrest her for failure to appear on an outstanding warrant. Fowler put up such a fight that deputies had to use their tasers on her, and she was arrested for interference and battery on a law enforcement officer. But Fowler was just getting started, according to the Atchison Globe. As jail workers tried to remove her jewelry and personal items, Fowler bit one of them on the thumb hard enough to break the bone. As a result, she now faces 3 felony charges of battery on a law enforcement officer and a charge of interference with a law enforcement officer. And this story really sticks out to me because, first of all, it's a 48-year-old person, a grown-up, who's a city council person in Atchison County, Kansas. The city council person just went nuts on the cops and tried to bite somebody down into the bone. What's that all about?
Is this the Charlie bit my finger kid all grown up? Is that what this,
I mean,
I'll tell you what this is, guys. This is a classic origin story for zombies.
Go right ahead.
A zombie breakout going on here, and this is just the very, very early days of the zombie apocalypse in Atchison. But she's the first one. She was in her private life job. She was working at a chemical plant that did some tests, and she accidentally got hit with some chemical potion that turned her into a zombie, and she didn't know it yet. But she started losing her mind, and they tried to arrest her. She got worked up, and finally something snapped, and she turned full zombie and tried to bite someone's finger off.
Very nice. So this is a Nick Thacker story. It is a patient zero situation. Who wants to be the second to pitch a story for Bad to the Bone?
I went second last time, but I do have a story. But I went second last time, so if someone else wants to go ahead.
There's no law that says you can't go second twice in a row.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Here we go. Similar to Nick's story, I'm thinking this is a classic case of reverse werewolfism. So in reverse werewolfism, the person who turns people into werewolves has this ability to make people just want to bite him. Like he oozes this pheromone or something. It makes people want to bite him so that they become werewolves. So he's like a patient zero for werewolves. So this city councilwoman is the first in the line in this community, and he's just going to keep going around getting bitten until everyone in the population there has turned into his tribe of werewolves, which he'll then lead to world domination.
Nice. So it's a lycanthropy tale.
Reverse lycanthropy tale.
I'll go next. And
okay, all right.
I will show a story prompt and read the story prompt.
That's me. I'm trying to. I hate when you click on it. You can never meet the damn thing. Ridiculous.
Okay.
It's very meta.
So yeah, for sure.
Nick just watched.
All right. So if anyone was unfortunate enough to listen to our show last week, I'm sorry. We'll always try to get a little better, But if you listen to our, we're trying. Except some of the guys don't want to get better, but it is what it is.
You don't even have your Christmas tree in the shot, dude.
Sorry, man. Hold on. It's over there.
There she is.
So if you listen to our show last week, Kevin had a great story that we coined Invasion of the Hoppy Snatchers, related to an invasion of people from outer space that were essentially turning people into pod people. All right. And so that took place in Michigan, around the water in Michigan. I feel like Kevin's at like a chair at his dad's office, like you know.
Kevin is giving us a panorama of his current location.
He's
I
trying
to-
don't know why,
Don't
but
let it
It's
he's
work.
wonderful.
Pay no attention to me. You tell your story, all right?
So,
Tell your story.
so Invasion of the Hoppy Snatchers. It was people that were coming down, and they were, placing people in certain positions of influence. And they're going to try to overtake the country, and it's a long-term plan. Well, this is one of the next steps. It's just trickled down from Michigan throughout the Midwest, and Kansas is one of the places where these alien people are trying to establish a foothold. Well, the problem is every so often, one of their clones, one of their replicants that replaces a real person doesn't work right. The genetic code doesn't work right. They kind of snap. They have anger issues and things like that. So I think that our councilwoman is one of these pod people, and that she is has just snapped at the wrong time in an instance of like self-preservation, so the police and the government don't discover the alien plot. So that's what I think is going on. I think she's a glitching pod person.
glitching pod
Does
person.
does it count as
fear.
a vote for me if RA referenced me in his?
No, it's an
pitch?
extra point for me for bringing it back to an old story.
Kevin,
So
it's
what you're
sort of-
getting at is that the company's going to eventually come out with Pod People Pro. Is that what you're saying? Is that kind of where you're going with that? Like there's going to be another version?
Yeah,
No.
for sure.
Kevin, the way that it works is that if RA mentions you get like an affiliate fee point. You get like 3.6% of a point.
This seems fair.
That you can only spend in a story on the spot store.
This
Yeah,
seems
exactly.
fair. Yeah, I'm on board with this.
And the problem with the Pod People Pro is you got to buy a special charger for that one.
It's all
It has a
proprietary stuff.
proprietary. Yeah.
Exactly. So,
I like how Jim and I raced to use the word proprietary. Like
Yeah,
that was a
that's good.
race.
Yeah.
We had to get there.
I know
first.
big words.
I know big words too. Craig, you're the last to go. If you have a pitch, you can pitch it now.
So clearly, I think Carol has a past because somebody typically doesn't go from your nice, suburban councilwoman mom person to chomping people's thumbs off. So I
You don't know
think
my
that.
mom.
All right. Well, typically, no, but I think that she does have a past, and it's still in the paranormal realm. I think she is actually a witch. And so she ends up getting arrested and sent to prison. But she puts this not only witchcraft but the council experience in practice in jail, and creates this jail coven business, which ends up little by little taking over the jail culture, and it becomes its own major commune with guards and everybody's involved, and they begin hatching their own plots to expand their influence, and the private eye or the government agent or whoever is tasked with infiltrating this prison and taking it down from the inside.
Wow. Craig, you're a natural at this. Very well done. I like it. Let's move on to our next
Never
story.
called me a natural.
Yeah.
You have a nickname that's 7 words long, or a middle name that's 7 words long.
Yeah.
Who's
I
gonna
mean,
mess with you.
It's my real middle name, man. Stop making fun of me. I told you my mom's weird.
No, I was giving you a thumbs up. Nobody's gonna mess with you with a name like that.
That's right. You'd be surprised.
okay. This is called A Well-Seasoned Officer. In Nashville, 20-year-old Antonio Freeman knew he had a problem when 3 police officers approached him as he rolled a marijuana joint. He also knew there was a bigger problem in his pocket, a plastic bag full of cocaine. In a bold move, according to the Tennessean, Freeman pulled the bag out of his chest pocket, crushed it in his hand, and sprinkled cocaine over Officer Ryan Caulfield's head and into the air in an attempt to destroy the evidence. The officers were able to salvage about 2.5 grams of the substance and charge Freeman with tampering with evidence, along with drug possession and unlawful use of drug paraphernalia. So you've got this kid in Nashville who's rolling a joint. He's also got baggy cocaine in his pocket. 2.5 grams is quite a substantial amount. I mean, it's not like Pablo Escobar amount, but it's pretty good amount just to be walking around in your pocket. You could get in some serious trouble for that. And so he decided that the best, rather than, like trying to eat the baggie, which is probably what a normal criminal would do, Antonio decided that he was going to spread it into the winds in front of the cops, and somehow thought that was going to just to be fine. So who hasn't gone first yet?
Me.
I don't think I have.
Craig, you don't have to go first if you don't want to. You're still on probation or slack, however you want to view it.
Yeah, whatever. I'm willing to go, but if somebody else has a burning idea, go ahead.
Nick, do you want to go first, or you want to let Craig go first?
I don't know. Well, I don't know if my idea was burning. So really,
we'll be the judges.
They make bills for that.
So I'll give you my idea, and you guys can decide if it's burning or not. I think what we've got here, it's burning. Yeah, I think what we've got here is just a situation where Antonio Freeman is a young recruit into an underground crime ring. He's actually trying to infiltrate. So he's playing kind of double agent here, and one of the ways they do it. One of the ways he has found to take down victims and basically turn on his superpower mode is with this white substance that looks a lot like cocaine. And if he inhales it, he actually it's like a speed boost kind of thing. It's like speed, literally, the drug. And so he's able to heighten his senses and kind of turn on his Matrix level kung fu powers by throwing it up in the air and then just breathing it in like that, and get going. Now the problem is he was about ready to start a mission, and in order to calm his nerves before he does this, he decided to roll a joint and enjoy a little bit of weed before he got going. So that's the officer over, and in order to try to get out of it, he threw his magical what was that for? Was that necessary? I'm done. You know what? I'm done. That's my story. And it ends. It's got the best twist ending you've never heard of. It's amazing.
Like the whole time.
Nick Jen says like Sonic the Hedgehog on crack.
Exactly. Exactly like Sonic the Hedgehog on crack, but not the remake movie weird one, but like the original game.
Okay, I'm gonna put the story back up here. All right, Kevin.
I got a story. Okay, it's very similar to Nick's story. That's the way I'm going to start every one of these now. It's very similar to Nick and RA's story.
This one has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Therefore, it's exactly like Nick's story.
No, look. The secret to a good, fast-paced story is skip the middle.
There you go. Just skip it. Don't need it.
So what we have here is so this guy. So we have this event. This event takes place. He rolls the joint. He sprinkles cocaine on the officer's head. The officer feels 10 times bigger. And they take out of jail in 2.5 grams. I'm just going to make this up because I don't know for sure, but it's enough to get him thrown into the federal clinic. Okay. They've got their evidence. They've got everything. It's on body cams and security cams. They've got this guy dead to rights. He goes straight to jail. And then life starts to go on, and they're going to process him later. Or they're going to, the whole case will evolve later. But what happens is they go and test the cocaine remnants they find, and it turns out to not actually be cocaine. It's talcum powder or something, And they're wondering, who would do this and then not correct the record and end up in federal prison? But meanwhile, in federal prison, there's a high-profile. We'll say he's like a crime boss or something who's been in this prison, and no one can get to him, but there's a bounty on his head. And this guy has now managed to get into the prison to take this crime boss out. And this was his ruse, because after it's all said and done, he's found a way to take this guy out without anyone knowing that it was him. And once that's done, he gets released because he didn't have any actual drugs. So it's supposed to be the perfect crime. So that's what we've got here. We've got a hitman who has infiltrated this high security prison to take out a crime boss, and will get off scot-free because there were no actual drugs.
Nice, very nice, Kevin.
You just spent 20 minutes giving us the middle of a story.
when I write it, I'm just going to write the beginning and the end. Like the middle is the pitch.
Oh, I see. That's the synopsis. None of that's in the actual book.
Okay. All right. I can go. I can go now. I got something if Craig doesn't mind.
Craig was going to go first, but
Craig keeps getting the last spot. That's like the coveted spot.
Yeah, it's a coveted, man.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's a little hospitality. SotS hospitality. SotS
We're not always this
hospitality.
nice, Craig.
All right. So I think that the story plays out the way that we heard, that the young man is rolling a joint, and when he looks over, he sees the officers coming towards him. But he wasn't actually trying to pour the coke out to get rid of the evidence. He recognized Officer Caulfield, right, as someone that he had previously partied with. And so when he's pouring the cocaine out, he's just trying to give it to his friend, the officer, who he knows last weekend he had a knockdown, drag out. Wait, save the dun. Wait, save it. All right, save it. Make it special. Hold on.
Okay, I'll hold on.
Okay.
Premature dun.
Right, exactly, dude.
It happens to all of us.
I'm sorry. Okay, so he recognizes the officer as someone that he partied with. And so when they arrest him, Antonio's very confused. You know, when the other officers leave and Officer Caulfield is waiting with Antonio, he goes, Antonio says, well, why are you busting me for this coke? Like, you sold me this coke. Like, what, we're gonna pretend like drugs are bad now? Like, we were just partying. And Officer Caulfield is vehement that he never sold this young man coke. Well, it turns out that there is a pod person replica of Officer Caulfield. There is a pod person replica of Officer Caulfield who is running amok. All right, and thank you.
It's a person,
and he's running amok, and he's causing all sorts of problems before he takes out the real deal. So the rest of the book would involve Caulfield solving the story, and then the showdown is him versus his pod person self for the good of the county. So that's what I would do.
That is amazing, RA. Thank you.
The case of Stoner v. Pod person.
Stoner v. All right, Craig, you are the last one here. We're coming up on half an hour, so I think we should make this our last pitch of the day. Now, no pressure or anything, Craig, but you really need to nail this.
Okay.
Get this right, Craig.
So Antonio is actually an agent for a secret government, kind of the government that runs everything, but they've discovered this transportation, but it's in the form of a smokable item, so you can carry it around. So he's about to transport from one place to another to go about his duties to deliver some sort of message or whatnot, because they can't rely on modern technology because everything's hackable. And the officer spots him, and the cocaine is just there as a diversion. He carries it around with him, so if somebody comes up and asks, hey, let me see that joint or whatever it is, he can pull out his cocaine. Something much worse, But it's actually...
That's why we all carry cocaine. It's a diversion cocaine.
Well, I know. This is actually nonfiction.
Right.
I'm just
right, of course.
My daily
documentary.
And that distracts the whoever is inquiring, the agent, police officer, from the actual issue at hand.
All right. Very well done.
Like a ninja smoke screen.
Because I didn't think of that.
A coke screen. A coke screen.
Well, Craig, you came on and we threw you to the wolves, and you did amazing. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today.
Thanks for having me.
All right. And so we're coming up on half an hour. Everybody vote for whoever you feel like deserves it, not just for Kevin. Only vote for Kevin if you feel like he deserves it. If you don't feel like he deserves it, I don't want you to feel like you have to look into Kevin's mean stare and think that you're obligated to vote for him just because he's so horrifically mean looking. Oh my goodness.
God, can we put it on 360p or something?
We downscale.
Too much
Change
HD,
Minecraft
man.
mode.
Nobody needs to see Tumlinson in all that resolution. All right. Thanks, Craig, for coming. Thanks for guesting. You're welcome back absolutely anytime. And thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Comment below. Let us know which story you think won the round so we can have a winner next week. All right, everybody.
See ya.